Hey there, Mama, and welcome back to Teach Your Littles at Home. I'm Lauren Brainerd, and this week we're diving into one of my favorite fall themes, Pumpkin Week. Fall is in the air, and everywhere we go this week, we are seeing pumpkins, so it's the perfect theme to introduce our little ones to fall. We will be learning art, math, science, learning the letter P, and even working on our gross motor play. Get ready for a week packed with hands-on learning and sensory fun that is going to keep your toddler engaged and excited to learn. Hey there, Mama. I'm Lauren Brainerd, and this is Teach Your Littles at Home. I'm so excited you have tuned in as I share fun and hands-on activities you can use right away to help you play and learn with your little ones. So let's dive right into today's episode so you can make more memories than you ever dreamed of. To kick off Pumpkin Week, grab your little one and head to a pumpkin patch to grab some mini pumpkins that you are going to be using for this week's activities. Take the time to enjoy the pumpkin patch. Turn this into a field trip. Have lots of fun looking at the pumpkins, talking about the colors, the shapes, the sizes. And make sure you grab a few photos because you will be so glad to have these memories later. When you get home from the pumpkin patch, you're going to want to grab some liquid paint, and we are going to be doing stamping with pumpkins. You're going to start by cutting a mini pumpkin in half from the stem to the base. Then invite your little one to scoop out the seeds using spoons, scissors, tweezers, any tools you have on hand, and explore the inside of the pumpkin. Once your child has had a chance to engage their senses and explore, then you're going to want to have them dip the flat side of the pumpkin into paint and stamp it onto construction paper. Such a fun activity. It is going to get a little messy, but it's completely worth it being able to watch their little faces light up with excitement as they see all these pumpkin shapes appear on the paper. You can even take this activity a step further by teaching them how to mix colors. So put some red and yellow on a paper. Have them take the pumpkin, kind of swirl it into both colors, and see what new color emerges. It's a great way to talk about how when we mix red and yellow, we can make orange. You can also try this with the other primary colors and do blue and yellow to make green, and you can also do blue and red to make purple. Pumpkin Week is naturally full of sensory fun. If you are a family who likes carving pumpkins, then I highly encourage you to try out a sensory bin that is going to help you to use that entire pumpkin that you are carving. So as you carve the pumpkin, you're going to want to save all the pumpkin guts that are inside that carved pumpkin and place them into a bin or a large bowl. I love using this sensory bin while our family is actually carving pumpkins because it gives my little ones something to do who aren't quite ready to use knives yet. They can grab that bin full of all the pumpkin guts and squish and squeeze and explore. It's messy, but carving pumpkins is always messy. So let's give them this opportunity to be messy in an appropriate way. It's a rich sensory experience, and it's great for building their descriptive language as well, because they can describe what they feel, what they see, what they hear. Another way to reuse part of that pumpkin is after they're done with the entire sensory bin, wash and dry the seeds, and you're going to reuse them in another sensory bin. You're going to need uppercase and lowercase letter P cards. I've actually created some inside of our pumpkin toddler unit that has a pumpkin with the letter P. You're going to mix those into those dried seeds, and then you're going to have your child sort uppercase and lowercase letters while they scoop and pour the seeds. Make sure you're modeling the language uppercase P and lowercase p, or as we like to say, big P and little p, as they're sorting, so they make the connection that these are the same letter, but one is uppercase and one is lowercase. Next up, we have a fine motor skill activity to help your child build hand strength and coordination. Q-tips are a great tool to use to work on finger grasp and control. So today we are painting with Q-tips. You're going to begin by placing some orange paint on a plate and giving your child a Q-tip and a printable with the letter P printed in bubble lettering. I've already created a download for you of the letter P that has small little bubbles inside of them for them to jot with their Q-tips that you can download using the link in the show notes, or you can, of course, create your own. You're going to encourage your little one to dot inside each part of the letter P while you talk about the words inside and outside. What does it mean to paint inside the circle? What does it mean to paint outside? In the printable I created, I printed very small circles inside the letter P that you can use to work on even more precision with your child to make sure they're not only dotting inside the letter P, but they're hitting the circles inside the letter P. Next, we are moving on to pumpkin lacing. So you're going to begin by printing a large pumpkin, and then you're going to punch holes using a hole puncher around the edge of the pumpkin. Give your child a shoelace or a piece of yarn to thread through each hole. These are the beginning stages of sewing. You can call it that, or you can say they're lacing. This activity is great for hand-eye coordination and for teaching your child patience because, yes, it is tricky to thread through each hole, and they're going to have to have a lot of patience to get through this activity in a way that is fun and meaningful. This week, you can also pull out dot markers and practice filling in circles on a pumpkin or a letter P page. This activity provides so many opportunities for building vocabulary as you talk about the circle shape name, naming colors, and you can even review the letter P as they work. If you would like to learn more about why fine motor practice is so important, you can also listen to episode 11, where we chat about what fine motor skills are. Now moving on to math time. This week you can work on one-to-one correspondence using the pumpkin counting cards that are found inside of our pumpkin toddler unit. These cards include small pumpkin pictures with a number that shows how many pumpkins are on the card. Give your child a small counter. Those pumpkin seeds you dried earlier work perfectly, and have them place one seed on each pumpkin while you guys are counting out loud together. It's a very simple activity. It's hands-on, but it helps our children connect numbers to quantities, and they begin to practice early counting skills in a way that feels so much more natural. It feels more like it's fun than it is a learning or a table time activity. Science activities fit in so naturally this week. Our little ones love exploring the world around them, and pumpkins make this so easy. Grab a real pumpkin, cut it open, and invite your child to pull it apart to discover what's inside. Talk about the three main parts of a pumpkin: the seeds, the pulp, and the flesh. And by the main parts, I mean inside the pumpkin, and then sort each part into groups. Then you can try a sink or float experiment. Fill a bin with water, hold up a pumpkin, and ask your child to guess, is the pumpkin going to sink or is the pumpkin going to float? Let them test their hypothesis, which is an educated guess, and see what happens. It's a fun introduction to some basic science concepts like prediction and observation, and it's so much fun. So to wrap up Pumpkin Week, it's time to get moving with pumpkin bowling. Draw a chalk circle on the ground outside. Set up a few plastic cups upside down inside of the circle, and then have your toddler roll a pumpkin like a bowling ball to try to knock the cups out of the circle. Keep on rolling that pumpkin until every cup has been knocked out. This simple game works on coordination, strength, and balance while letting your child burn off some energy. I hope this week's pumpkin activities bring so much fun and learning into your home. Please remember, each of these activities helps your little one develop important skills through play, and that's exactly what learning at this age should look like. If you would like to make planning the week much easier on yourself, just head to the show notes, grab my Pumpkin Toddler unit, and it has all the printables and the lesson plans ready to go so you can just print and start playing with your little ones. Until next time, have fun teaching your littles and enjoy every moment of Pumpkin Week. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Teach Your Littles at Home. I hope you are feeling so inspired to create a new activity to do right away with your little ones.
If you like listening to my mommy, will you please leave her a review?
Before you head off to plan the next activity, would you mind leaving me a quick review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you are listening from? This is the only way for me to know if you're finding my tips, activities, and advice helpful, and I get so excited reading each and every review. I hope this episode has left you feeling empowered to try something new with your kids this week. And if so, would you please hit the share button and share this episode with another one of your mama friends who also wants to create activities with her little ones. I can't wait to share even more fun activities with you on our next episode. Have a wonderful rest of your day playing and making memories with your little ones.